us to go to n equals 4? Like keep going up?
Eventually we want to make a formula, like an equation. That way we can plug in and figure out any step, right? That's the end goal. But if you can't do that, that's okay. We'll go with whatever you can explain with words, okay? I'll try to think about what that means mathematically. Oh, right, song of the day. Colder weather, thought it was appropriate. Background band.
Yes. Love it. Used to be my
Let me help you get what you give. 2010. Earrings too. I knew you were a fashionista. It's just a fact.
She'd take Colorado if he'd take her with him.
Does that actually work?
Closes the door before the winter lets the cold in,
Well, step 2.
and wonders if her love is strong enough to make him stay. She's answered by the taillights shining through the window pane. He said, I wanna see you again, but I'm stuck in colder weather. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Can I call you then? She said, you're a rambling man, and you ain't ever gonna change. You got a gypsy soul to blame, and you were born for leaving. At a truck stop diner just outside of Lincoln. The night is black as the coffee he was drinking, and in the waitress' eyes he sees the same old light is shining. He thinks of Colorado and the girl he left behind him. He said, I wanna see you again, but I'm stuck in colder weather. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Can I call you then? She said, you're a rambling man, and you ain't ever gonna change. You got a gypsy soul to blame, and you were born for leaving. Born for leaving. Well, it's a winding road when you're in the lost and found. You're a lover, I'm a runner, and we go round and round. And I love you, but I leave you. I don't want you, but I need you. You know it's you that calls me back here, baby.
Good, great, fantastic.
Oh, I wanna see you again, but I'm stuck in colder weather. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Can I call you there? 'Cause I'm a rambling man. I ain't never gonna change. Got a gypsy soul to blame, and I was born for leaving. Born for leaving.
That was hilarious. Make head full of knowledge.
When I close my eyes, I see you. No matter where I am,
What's that?
I can smell your perfume through these whispering pines. And with your ghost again. It's a shame about the weather, but I know soon we'll be together. And I can't wait till then.
No, I'm being serious.
I can't wait till then.
All right. So we're talking about step 1, we got 5 squares. Step 2, we have 9 squares. Either write in words or in math what's going on. Okay. What? Yeah, but how? Like what's going on? That Zach Brown band from the album. You give 2010. Colder weather was the song. Thought it was appropriate given the snow this morning.
You can tell him.
You guys told me it was gonna snow on Halloween.
So snow.
So snow.
Hey, I was listening to that song.
Snow day. Snow day.
Hey, we care.
It's really sad.
We got plenty of them last year.
It's funny, but
kind of funny, but it's really sad.
It's really sad. I was listening to that song when my dad left. It's
Sorry.
funny.
Sorry.
No, it's funny. I laugh. It's so funny.
All right. What's up, YouTube? I'm gonna sit down for a second. Nothing matters, so who cares, right? So, what's going on here? Somebody tell me what they see. Tucker. Adding 4. That's what Maddie said. Way to steal her answer. Good job, Maddie. All right. So we're adding 4 each time. Right. The number of corners. We add 1 square on the outside of that. Cool. How else do you see it? Is there another way to look at it?
The N is going up one.
Alex. N is going up by 1 each time? Well, yeah, N is just the step number,
No,
right?
the ends of
Oh, the ends.
yeah.
Not N is in the letter, but the ends, like as the opposite of the beginning, right? The ends of this are getting added on, 1 on, right? So we add 1 on to the end. So in other words, what you're saying is, to get the next guy, you take the same shape, copy and paste it, right? And add 1 onto the ends. Good, good. So you can add 4 each time, and that's how many squares you have. Or you can say, look, I'm gonna take that whole idea, and I'm gonna pop on a square on the end, right? For each end.
Our issue, we have good noodle list.
Yeah, we'll have to think about it. Is there another way to see it?
Yes, I know what the answer is.
Great, but I want to know if you can see it. Give me another answer.
So,
Yeah.
What do you do with the numbers, 9, 6?
Say it again.
The numbers, the 5 and 9, that's 15.
They went up.
Well, we're adding 4 each time, right? So we're gonna have 13 for the next one, etc. And yeah, these are going up by 1 because it's just the step numbers, right? That's the step we're on. Of course, it's going up by 1, right? How about this? Any art students in here? Anybody in art class?
yeah, I'm in art class.
Yeah? Okay. What do you see? Better question, what don't you see?
Yeah, those squares.
The other squares. What other squares?
It's white.
The negative space, right? So check it out. If you fill in the negative space, we get a 3 by 3 square here. Take away 4. We get what we want, right? This would be a 5 by 5 square. We're going to take away 4, but we're going to do it 4 times, right? We have a 7 by 7 square here, but we took away 9 4 times. Now there's a way to represent that mathematically. It's much harder, but that's another way to look at it, right? Build the whole square and then take away what you don't need instead of making what you do, right? Let's talk about the first way you guys said. You guys said add 4 each time. Anybody have a formula for that? Zach,
What?
what's the formula that you had?
4N plus 4.
Now here's the deal. You said add 4 each time was the idea behind it. But why is it 4n plus 1? What does that have to do with adding 4 each
The
time?
N is for the.
Ah.
equals 1.
So really what we're saying is, I think this. Are they the same thing? Yes. But this is saying I'm going to add 4 each time. How many times? Well, the step number, right? Now, why do we start with the number 1?
Because it just goes up. I don't know.
It doesn't go up by 1s, it goes up by 4s. Where does the number 1 come from? Over here visually. Where is the number 1?
So first, second, third, fourth.
No, it's not this.
That's what I got.
No, because that's this. That's a regular 1. Why is there always 1 that we start with and then we add 4? Yeah,
It's the middle block.
it's the middle block. Start with 1 and add 4. How many times? Well, that's the first step. So we're going to add 1 group of 4. Okay. Start with the middle block. Start with 1 and add 4. How many times? Well, it's step 2. So we're going to add 2 groups of 4. 1 group here and 1 group there. Start with the middle block. That's our first one. Add 4 3 times. This is the third step. That's what that means. Both are the same. But I think it's easier to see this way. Start with the first block. This guy. call this the explicit formula, wicka wicka, right? If it ain't got bad words, we're not listening to it. There's another way to think about it though. You guys mentioned we take the last guy and we add on 4, right? You probably don't remember what this is from algebra, it's from a while ago. All this is it stands for the output. And it tells you what it depends on. What you get out is what you put in. What are we putting in? N. Think of it like a vending machine. The button you push determines what comes out, right?
We can't use them during school.
Darn. Well, my class you can. It's all about the vendies in here. So that's the output. The output is this. The 5, the 9, the 13. What you put in is N. Now, if you look at the last guy and you add 4, that's easy to write. The add 4 part at least. Right? How do we write mathematically? Look at the previous step. Think about this. If I'm on step 3 and I want to look at step 2, what's the step before step 3? 2. How'd you do that? Subtract 1. N is the step we're on, right? So what's the step before N? It's a tough question. If we're on 3, you know the step before it is 2, right? You did that by subtracting 1. If we're on N, some unknown step, what's the step before that? Not M, although that would make sense alphabetically. It's the same letter. It's N, except you do what to it? Subtract 1.
Oh my god, I just guessed. I was guessing.
The step we're on is N, so step before it's N minus 1. Think about it. If N is 5, what's the step before? 4. You took N and subtracted 1, right? Step number. So here's how we write, look at the previous guy. This says, if you want to know the guy that we're talking about, N1, or whatever N you want, right? Maybe you want to know N equals 3. Look at N minus 1, and then add 4. So here's what I mean. If you want to know step 3, right, that it's 13. It says, if you want to know step 3, what you really need to do, plug in 3 here, right? These are both 3s. We're interested in 3, so N is 3. What's 3 minus 1? 2. So what you really want to do, it says, is you want to look at step 2 and then add 4. That's going to tell you how much is in step 3. You see how that works? If 3 is the step we're interested in, that gets us the step before here, step 2. So this is the previous step plus 4. If I want to know step 7, how many squares there are, well, that makes this a 7. What's 7 minus 1? 6. So it says you need to know step 6 and then add 4 to it. If I want to know what step 3 is, look at the one before it and add 4 to it. That's all that's saying mathematically, this right here. If you want to know the current step, look at the step before and add 4. This moment of stepping in. If that means look at the step before, somebody tell me what this means. Alex.
You do the same class and try to.
Sort of. This is the step before. Tucker.
That's the step for that.
Exactly. It's 2 steps before. Right? Because if I want to know f of, I don't know, 6, that says you need to know f of 6 minus 2. What's 6 minus 2?
4.
So you need to know step 4. If I want to know step 3, and I write, look at the step 2 before it, how much do I need to add to that to get to here? 8. So another way to write this would be to say, if you want to know the current step, you need to look at the step that's 2 before it, and add 8. Same dumb crap. Put it away. Tucker.
Was it this package?
Yeah.
It is huge stuff and stuff.
What do you mean in my truck?
This was perfect.
you like sunglasses? Yes. Oh, that, whoa, yes.
I might get my money.
98.
Where's my money at? Better get my money.
I need to go find that.
Do you want another copy? Anybody need another copy of
I
paper?
might have it. I think it's in my office.
I don't mind if you Frankenstein it together. Wait, hold on.
I'll go look in my office.
All right, have fun.
I won't be back. I'm running
Like,
away.
we got a dip. I understand.
I'll look Freddie Mercury.
Got it.
Brian May.
Ryan May.
Roger Miller. I think I want to.
Talking about Queen.
Oliver.
Ryan May. Smart guy.
Yeah. I would say.
He does. He's also a physicist. He's pretty dope. All right. Who wants the thick with 3 C's? You do. All right. That one's not double-sided, so it's extra thick. Here's one for you. Does anybody else need another copy of that packet?
Yes.
You do?
Pages.
Well, it depends. If you got the one where it's not double-sided,
Mine are one-sided.
they're one-sided. I think it's 6 pages, but I could be wrong. Ask Joey. How many pages was that?
I've got 6.
You're right.
6. Let me see if I have another copy for you, Bill. I do not. At least I don't think so. Let me double check. Oh, yes, they do. Plenty of extra copies. Maybe they'd be around here somewhere. Sorry, it's not thick with 3 C's. I know you're very disappointed. Get it?
On my binder.
Oh, wow.
Mac, I need one.
Oh, you need one as well?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Doc. He's a busy guy. He's got a lot going on.
What?
State champion, future state champion,
You're gonna see.
Dr. Peppers.
Oh, yeah.
State champion.
All right.
What? Heath?
Well, president accounted for.
So much I called 6 minutes.
And that.
Heath, I will take you out.
Oh, guess what? My thing froze.
Yeah.
That's not good.
I'm bringing mine.